I've, in the last couple of months, spent so much time thinking about this and how powerful forgiveness really is. And I will tell you that, and I think I even mentioned it last Sunday, that it is the one thing that I really continue to struggle with. It just seems so much more difficult for me. And I think because if someone hurts my feelings or does something unkind, even if I know the intention wasn't deliberate, it still really kind of wounds me, and it's hard for me to let go. So I really continue to work on forgiveness, and certainly unconditional forgiveness. Well, that's just a whole other thing. So when we hear the word love, whether it's romantic love or friendly love or whatever it is, it's a wonderful word to say. But I have found that the word I forgive you, or the word forgiveness, is so much more powerful when you know it comes from that pure, true place. And especially when you can forgive yourself, which I know for me is really the hardest thing of all. Webster defines forgiveness, or at least the word forgive, as allowing room for error or weakness, or to give up resentment, to cease to feel resentment against. Oh, but it's so powerful, isn't it? But it's hard to let go. And it really just takes, I have to be very conscious and deliberate in order to remove those feelings out of the way and to totally forgive. I want to share a story with you, and over the last couple of months, I've just been thinking about, okay, what is forgiveness and what example in my own life could I use that would be powerful? And I've prayed and prayed and prayed about, God, please give me the words that I'm supposed to use. Here's a true story that happened a couple of weeks ago with one of my friends at work. So I'm going to share her story with her permission. I had a meeting with her. We had been working on some budget numbers and had to go through some results, and, really how fun is that on a Monday morning? And she seemed very distracted. And in the midst of me saying, well, here's my proposal and here's what I think we should do, she just wasn't really connected. And so I stopped for a minute and I asked her if she was okay. She told me she'd had a really rough start to her morning, and I asked her if she wanted to talk about it. And this is what she told me. At 7 o'clock that morning, she had a dentist appointment. So, okay, it's a Monday, it's 7 a.m., and you're at the dentist. That's a great kickoff to a week. She gets in there and she sits down, they're on time, everybody's courteous, they greet her. She gets in the chair and she sits down. And the dental assistant comes up, good morning, how are you, great to see you, you're on time, we're on time. And my friend literally freezes in her chair. And the only thing she can see is this dental assistant's name badge. So she literally stops breathing. And the assistant is asking her, oh my Lord, what is wrong? Are you okay? Did something happen? And she couldn't speak. She sat there wanting to run, but couldn't because she was frozen in her seat. And she began to pray. Prayed for the peace of God. And suddenly she had just this incredible calm come over her. And she realized that she was experiencing the presence of God. And the dental assistant says to her, what is it that happened? And she took a deep breath and she looked at her and she said, you are the woman that killed my grandson. The place stops. And literally in her office, I couldn't breathe. The girl, the dental assistant, started sobbing and just said, I am so sorry. So the story goes on that my friend was 9 months pregnant. And she was out running errands, and this young dental assistant, who was going through a really bad separation at the time. Her husband had been having an affair. He left her. She had 2 small children, and she was a mess. And she made a decision that night to drink and drive. And she hit the car of my friend's daughter, and it killed the baby. What are the chances that these 2 people would meet in a dental office? And I think that was her thing. It can only be God, because there isn't even a chance or coincidence that this could possibly happen. The 2 of them cried and sobbed, and the girl just begged for forgiveness and just couldn't understand how they were going to be able to move from this place. My friend stood up and said, I know that God loves you. I know that God loves me, and I have hated you for a year. I've never met you, but I have hated you and only wished horrible things to happen to you because I suffered such a great loss. And the young woman asked if there was anything that she could do.